Is Sophie Cunningham getting paid $10 million to play? Because that is a lot of money.
Today, we are bringing the Dub Club into our internal downward spiral on the WNBA. The CBA is getting further away from a deal, not closer, and we're seeing our favorite stars like Paige Bueckers and Angel Reese teaming up off the court, and it's making us dream of what could be on the court.
I'm kind of getting sold on Paigel.
Sophie Cunningham showing up as the hype woman for Project B, Caitlin Clark, and whatever else she feels like hyping. I just have a really quick question. What is she wearing?
Welcome to Let Her Shoot, the only podcast that covers sports the way that we want them covered. Respect for the athletes, respect for the game, no kid gloves. All the reasons to stay locked in. Oh, I get it. No kid gloves, but all the reasons to stay locked in. I never really understood that juxtaposition until just now. Sarah Chavnik, 2-time Emmy Award-winning producer. Trista Crick, 0-time Emmy Award-winning nominated or considered talent. If you like our stuff, please subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on iHeart, mostly YouTube. Hype us up wherever you get your podcast. Also follow us there. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at TheDailyW Sports. Also on Threads, which you have almost 7,000.
I've come a long way from my 300.
You just really didn't care about social media at all.
I still don't, which is ironic.
You need to. You do.
I mean,
would never say that publicly again.
I care about it from a business perspective.
See, the things are inextricably linked. You got to do it with the
soul, of course they are. I'm just saying, like, I don't feel like anyone needs to or wants to know what I'm doing in my everyday life.
That's fair enough.
You know, that's just my point. It's just, who needs to know what I'm doing? Who needs to know what I'm doing? Who needs to know what Tiger is doing? What we do need to know is what the WNBA, what the fuck they are doing. Because as we know, we have been in a season-long standoff between the WNBA PA and the WNBA owners, operators, money collectors. Final extension was originally October 31st. It got moved to the end of November. Then it got moved to, and now it's January 9th. So now we have until January 9th to come to a agreement about what is going to be in the terms of the CBA. The 40-day extension, we've talked about this before, but do you think anything gets done between now and that time?
I feel like that's really as close as we're going to get, because then we end up having start to get into the concept of, all right, like what players can these expansion teams go ahead and take? Like, there's some stuff going on around January that really, holds the rest of the league up if it doesn't happen then, as well as free agency that we're still dealing with. So they kind of need to figure it out. Do I think that they will? I'm concerned. I'm certainly concerned. I thought we would probably go into March or April, but I didn't realize that there were key dates before then that if they do not hit, then they are risking having a season altogether. Because if you don't know who you're going to get in the expansion draft, you don't know who you're going to get in free agency, then you really don't know who you're going to draft come April.
Right.
You can't. Everything kind of starts with the expansion draft. And that has to happen, I believe, the expansion draft's just around the corner.
What we know is that the players are trying to get more revenue sharing. They're trying to get higher base salaries, and they're trying to get more of a piece of the pie that they feel has grown, and their slice has not gotten bigger. So what they currently have is a salary cap that exists or what the former CBA was a salary cap of 1.5, a little over 1.5 million per team, rising 3% annually under the old CBA. The Supermax was about 249, 244, so about $250,000 a year, with a minimum of somewhere just hovering over $66,000 a year. So there is currently a revenue sharing trigger in the CBA that exists now or existed previously, but because of COVID and because of all these sort of impossible benchmarks that they set, they were almost impossible to hit. So we never really got what those max salaries, bonuses could have been, the super max structure.
And I would say on top of that, the thing that it's kind of fugazi, right? Like you say, oh, we'll share revenue with you. And like technically you do get a share of revenue, but it's derived revenue. Like it's a derived number. We're going to give you X. And then as our pie expands, the percentage of revenue that you get declines, right? Because the pie is expanding. And like maybe there's a possibility that you can hit these benchmarks that are impossible for you to get more. But you're never going to get more than, say, 11 or 12% of total revenue. And as the revenue grows, you're just never going to get more percentage-wise because it's sort of a fixed increase of 3%, which is basically the cost of it. Like, it's basically inflation. It's just it was a fucked up CBA. So go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, it's sort of like those, Christmas car commercials that we see where it's like, you can get into an Audi AM or a Mercedes AMG for $250 a month. And it's like, yes, if you have a 900 credit score, if you're putting $20,000 down on the car, there's all this fine line.
I always fall for that.
Never going to happen.
I always fall for that.
You show up at the Benz dealership and you're like, can I get my $200?
Yeah, I'm like, hey, you said a lease for an Audi Q5, a brand new Q5 is $400. And they're like, no, baby girl, it's not.
No, it's not. It never is.
$900 is what it is.
Yeah, like yes, it costs $400 if you meet these mysterious benchmarks that you're never going to meet because a human being can't do that. So the latest proposal, we've seen multiple outlets reporting this, but max salary would be a guaranteed $1 million base. With revenue sharing bonuses, the max could maybe possibly get to 1.2 million, right? Like we're saying
probably same situation.
But it's the Audi sale, it's the Audi winter sales event.
Correct.
Again.
Yeah,
and
it's
we're
the same
not
deal.
Actually getting the $1.2 million. Yes. We're really just getting maybe $1 million and then like maybe throw in like a Secret Santa gift. White elephant that you don't really want, but you kind of have to keep. And it's probably a jersey for a team that you really didn't want to go to because you got traded midseason. So the minimum salary would be reportedly in the 220 to 225 range, which does sound pretty decent. But there's some caveats to this that we're going to get into. The league markets it as a above 500K average. But in reality, it would be a $5 million cap, a 12-player roster, and that would put that closer to 400,000 than 500,000, even if you were to split it out evenly.
Yeah, and you talk about that we're getting 11-player rosters too. So, like, that's another way to make it 500,000 is we'll just shrink the roster size.
We'll just shrink the roster. You guys don't want another roster.
Yeah, I think the thing that I see from this is that the math ain't mathin'. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the revenue share, you're still getting like 12% of total revenue. And the increases in the TV rights and all these other different types of basketball related income don't factor into how much these players are getting paid. They're just deciding arbitrarily how much to make the salary cap. In other leagues, aka the MNBA, the salary cap is derived from revenue. In this case, the salary cap is independent of revenue, but it's like sort of related to revenue. The only reason it's gone up is because revenue has gone up, but we don't have any real correlation between the two, which is what players want. They don't want a fixed guaranteed base that goes up, because this will also go up only 3%. Same deal. $1 million guaranteed base for max players, and then 3%, and then 3%, and then 3%. Despite the fact that maybe in the next 3 years, revenue goes up 50%. And these players are locked into a guaranteed amount that has nothing to do with how much revenue the league makes.
Well, and speaking of the MNBA and the revenue, they already take a large portion of the WNBA revenue. It's very much like, paying tithes, right, to the mob boss that's funding you. And this is
I thought that was going to go in the direction of like the Pope, but instead it was tithing to the mob boss.
Yeah. I kind of forget about the Pope.
But tithing is a religious term.
It is, but
keep going.
Yeah. Well, I was actually kind of thinking more like, yeah. Anyway, my point is that they're forced to pay out.
The league
MNBA every time that they make money.
The MNBA owns 42.1% of the WNBA.
No, 42.1, which is the same amount owned by the WNBA.
So each NBA owner owns 1/30 of that percent. And so they get, that all equals out to 42.1%. It's kind of fucked up. Keep going.
Well, quick question, because I actually don't know the answer to this. So if the MNBA owns 41.2%, 42.1%, and the WNBA also owns 42.1%, and that's split out between the owners, do the owners who then own in both
double dip?
Yeah, so they double dip. So
if you own, for example, the Valkyries and the Golden State Warriors, you get 1/30 of the share
of the W.
That just comes with being an NBA owner. You get 1/30 percentage of that 42%. And then if you also own the WNBA team, you get 1/16 or 1/17, depending on how many WNBA teams there are, in terms of the share of the pie, of whatever that 42.1% is as well. And then there are also NBA owners that strategically invested in 2021, I think it was 2022, that 16%, 15.8% that Kathy Engelbert sent out to get that $75 million worth of funding. And there are owners of the NBA teams that also have a piece of that pie. So ostensibly, you could own 3 different portions of that pie.
Got it. It's a lot of pie for one person when the players are just asking for crumbs at this point. The players' approach is that they want something, like you said, tied to actual revenue. And the WNBA is sort of saying like, yeah, but that is what we're doing. And it's their proposal, as everyone has said, is putting lipstick on a pig. What is the fight for revenue? Like you said, it's changing sort of year by year, and they don't want to get stuck into a system where they're making significantly less. But we don't know exactly what number they're going for. But what do you think needs to be the number for them?
Fuck, I don't know. Honestly, it's so hard because there's so many different people who own pieces of the pie. If the WNBA owned all of it, then they'd want half. I'll just say that. What I would say that they need to figure out is a way to buy NBA owners their portion out to get that 42% back. And then...
But they're not going to do that.
I don't know. Maybe they have to. I'm not sure how that works. But here's the thing. TV revenue growth, in terms of the rights fees, they're about to enter into the first year of an 11-year, $2.2 billion deal, which is giving them $200 million in TV revenue per year, which is a jump of over $140 million of TV-related revenue per year.
$60 million.
No.
Additional. No. I'm saying it's a... No. Oh, sorry. It's a jump of 140, not a jump from 140 to 200.
No, it's a jump of over $140 million.
But we can't afford more than...
On top of that, a lot of people would say that if that was not negotiated within the confines of the NBA doing their TV rights deal, they would have gotten a lot more. So how it worked was that the NBA went out and they did a rights deal with NBC, they did a rights deal with Amazon, they did a rights deal with ESPN. And as a part of that rights deal, they allocated a certain percentage of that money to the WNBA. So it's like, all right, I'm going to negotiate for me, right? But as a part of me negotiating for me, I'll also throw in let her shoot, right?
Right.
And so, like, I'm going to do a deal with NBC, and I'll also give you the rights to let her shoot 2 times a week. And then I'm going to decide that let her shoot to me is just worth like 5% of what the overarching deal is, just arbitrarily. Whereas if we went out and pitched Let Her Shoot on our own, that had nothing to do with me, there's a possibility you end up getting a much better, higher amount. Because the WNBA rights deal was kind of a throwaway. It was kind of like, we'll also chip this in.
We'll just throw it into you, yeah.
Which is kind of fucked up. And they're like, well, but we're giving you $2.2 billion. But what did the NBA get? And I'm not saying that it's like on the same level at all, but what percentage did they get of the NBA rights deal? They got a $77 billion deal. $77 billion. So what is 2.2 out of 77? I'm not a math major at all, but I think that's not a lot.
I have a question. How does the NBA do in terms of like viewership goes?
I mean, it's 82 games. It's 30 teams. So sure. I mean, when you talk about the amount of potential advertising revenue, it's going to be higher, right? Because you've got, for example, 30 teams times 82 games is 2,460 games.
Yeah, you have significantly more games, for
now
sure.
Now you have 17 teams playing at 44 games, 748 games. So then let's just take that. That's about 36% of the games.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're not going to just get the exact 1-to-1 ratio, right? Which would mean we'll give you 36% of the amount that we're getting because the ratings are the same. That's not the case. But you'd probably need to say, all right, if you get 36%, if it's the same ratings, then what are the average ratings of the WNBA?
Right.
And how much is that worth per game on average? And then 36% of that amount is probably what they should get, which I don't think that's 2%. I think it's probably more than 2%.
It's definitely not 2%. It might not be, like you said, 36%, but it's definitely more than 2. And I think that there's got to be a number between that 2 and that 36. The latest reporting has made it very clear that big salary numbers are paired with trade-offs that let me rephrase that. Big salary numbers. Because we all know that, as you were saying, when we broke down these players who were paid the highest, and we saw tennis. Because Billie Jean King, years and years and years ago in 1973, dug her heels in and said, fuck you, I'm not taking less money. And now tennis players earn their worth. The WNBA is kind of having that moment right now of we're going to dig our heels in and make sure that we are getting our worth. But one of the things in the latest proposal that they have elected to take away is housing. And for a long time in women's sports, I know it happens in the NWSL and it happens in the WNBA, but you get housing you get a housing stipend. Sometimes it's a building that they provide you with. Sometimes it's actual money that they give you to go out and pay rent. But for a lot of these cities that WNBA is housed in, like New York City, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, LA, Chicago, housing prices are very expensive. And so taking that away and saying, but here's $200,000 a year, immediately you're just putting that directly back into living expenses.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, you think about what it is to live in New York City, even in Brooklyn, for a 1-bedroom apartment. Even if you made $200,000 a year, you're getting, we'll call it probably $12,000 a month. And in New York City, a 1-bedroom in Brooklyn, because that's probably where you're going to need to be, right, is about $5,000 a month, $4,500 a month for anything that's more than a studio. And even then, are you having roommates? Now, all of a sudden, you're basically making the $78,000 again once you pay rent.
Chat, should 24-year-old professional athletes have to have roommates to be able to afford their rent?
It's insane. It's literally insane.
I
love how we posted a whole thing about the proposed housing removal, and Natasha Cloud posted on our page.
It wasn't ours.
Was it ours?
No, it was just women's sports.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I thought she posted on ours as well.
No. But she did post, we want housing.
Yeah.
That was the whole sentence. We want housing, period.
I think that's fair. I honestly think, to be honest, that the WNBA, it's as a league, is kind of doing everything that they could do in order to not give up anything that they want to give up.
Well, so to me, it feels very like, okay, well, we can give you what you're asking for, but that's going to come with consequences. And that means we can't pay for your housing anymore. And it's sort of like, so would you rather have that and have higher salaries than have a place to live? And it feels very like condescending, like very adult, telling you how to live your life, parent.
Except for that they're not giving them what they're asking for.
No,
if
I
they
know.
were giving them like, for example, if I think that the league max should be tied to revenue, but as of now, from my quick math school, I think the super max would be like $5 million.
Right.
Not $1 million. So
right.
and then the league minimum, which is they're saying will be $250,000. That would probably be $1 million for the league minimum. 5 times or a little bit more, 5 times. I think it's 5x the number that they're saying.
Right.
On every level. And
think about, I mean, I know that they're saying guaranteed all players are going to make this much money, but you look at then.
What about the kids that are on a non-guaranteed deal? How much are they making?
Or who are just who's on a 7-day contract? Who's on, what about the people who are on, like you said, hardship contracts? What happens to the rookies that are switching, or not rookies switching cities, but what happens to the rookies who are not making these endorsement deals that a Paige Bueckers or an Angel Reese or an AZ Fudd is going to make coming into the league next year? But what about these players who have really no endorsement deals, that are coming into the league and who are just making that base salary?
Well, and you think about what the league also wants to do is to have longer rookie scale deals, which means you don't hit free agency to get what you're really worth until much longer into your career, which changes your second contract, your third contract, etc. It delays every part of you hitting the free market. But I think the part that's really the most dramatic in terms of what it would be is probably the scheduling.
Yeah, the scheduling. So one of the little sort of asterisks in this new proposal was that they would be moving the draft combine up to be played earlier. Too long didn't read of all that is that players would have to leave school before the end of the tournament season to go to the draft combine. And if they don't, it could impact how much money they make. It could impact whether or not they're able to get drafted. There's a lot of...
And the season would start before the Final Four. So if you're...
And then there's that aspect of it. So
say you get drafted and you're Caitlin Clark playing for Iowa against South Carolina, what are you doing? And then you go right in. Remember how tired Caitlin Clark was to start the season? You're going directly into the season. I think it completely changes college basketball for the worse.
I actually think that this is the worst proposal. This is the
worst part of it.
Worst. That's what I'm saying. I think this is the worst thing that they could add into this proposal that's not money related.
Yes.
But you cannot move. You would wreck the college basketball season. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that damages, and then that damages the WNBA because guess what? What if we never had the "you can't see me" move from Angel Reese? What if we never had the Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark or the wave off of Raven Johnson or any of these things that really is what propelled the interest in the WNBA to begin with? The tournament is literally the seeds planting in the earth.
It's where
for the WNBA's plants to grow.
Not to quote the University of Alabama, but it's where legends are made.
It's where legends are made.
It's where legends are made is during the tournament. Arike at the buzzer. Nice we would have never gotten that moment. There's so many moments that we would never have gotten. If you don't.
Paige Bueckers scoring almost a 50
Paige
bucket.
Bueckers.
AZ Fudd becoming the player of the tournament, NCAA player of the year. So it's like kind of like that. I think you're right. That probably is the thing that cripples the WNBA. And I get what they're trying to do is, hey, we don't want to run up against the NFL. So the only option we have is to move the season earlier. But the only way you can move the season earlier is if college basketball moves earlier. And I don't think they're going to do that either because that runs into the school year. You're running into hard deadlines. I think you're just going to have to go up against the NFL if you are expanding teams and you need to expand the season without a bajillion back-to-backs, which is what they did this year.
Also, moving college basketball up puts them directly square with college football, which is stupid. I just think there's a lot of things here. And they did throw in things like little sprinklings of, sweetness on top of the platter of shit that they presented, which was like, well, we'll give you a more robust parental leave. And we'll do protections for months for all parents who have children, whether they're the birthing parent or the non-birthing parent, retirement pension stuff. But all of that is like, this is what you get if you make it that far. Well, if also, we've allowed you to get that far.
I think the thing that's also really important to note about the schedule is it's not just about college that they're impacting. They're basically telling anyone who wants to play in the WNBA that the only thing you can do is play in the WNBA based on how we've set our calendar.
Yeah.
So if you play in Project B ends after now our new WNBA league starts. If you want to play in Unrivaled, it goes right up against that. If you want to play in college basketball, it goes right up against that. So they really want to make it so that you have to choose the WNBA before anything else. Also, any international play that you're playing with for your country, like we saw with Gabby, that's the same deal. You have to come to the WNBA and you have to report to camp. So as it stands, NECA even said it, locking in an earlier season and strong commitment to league first obligations potentially limits overseas play that can conflict with domestic growth plans.
So what do both sides really want and what are they each going to settle for? I think that's kind of because we know that they don't agree. We know that they don't agree on what they want right now. That's why we keep getting these leaks of this is the deal that happened and then this is everything that sucks about it. But something that stands out to me is Jessica Berman, NWSL commissioner, when we talked to her at the NWSL championship, she said the important thing to remember about a deal is that nobody should be happy.
I hate that.
But it's also true. It's also very true. It's part of business. You're going to have to eat things that you don't like. So there might be things that the players have to eat that they don't like, that they have to give up on, whether that's schedule, whether that's bonus structure, whether that's revenue. I think they have to pick which of these in the bucket that they want to keep and the ones that they're more okay with letting go. And I think the owners in the league have to do that too, because I think they're both holding so hard onto what they both want that they cannot come to an agreement. So what those things actually are. WNBA PA wants a revenue-linked system, no fixed caps, a mechanism where salary cap and player pay scale automatically with league revenues, similar, like you said, in spirit to the NBA. Housing, they want to be able to keep, which right now the WNBA said, get rid of. Better structure for player rights, shorter rookie deals, a more robust free agency path, fewer restrictions, family health and long-term security with extended parental protections and stronger retirement pension frameworks. What the league wants and what their priorities are is to headline salary growth, being able to say we have 7-figure salaries and average players make over $500,000, which is just genuinely a PR move. I mean, that's just to wave their own flag of look at us, look how great we are. Cost and risk control, keeping revenue sharing at a lower slice, and then roster and calendar control, locking in, like you said, an earlier season, stronger commitment to have to pledge your allegiance to stand in front of the WNBA flag and Kathy Engelbert and say, I pledge allegiance to the WNBA and I will never go anywhere else.
I'm going to say this right now. If you're the NBA owners and WNBA owners, and your goal is to keep players from playing in Unrivaled or Project B, paying them this little amount and making them choose between how much Project B is going to pay them and the way that that league is structured from like a body impact standpoint, like not a lot of back-to-backs, you change cities, you're overseas. We talked with NWSL Commissioner Jessica Berman and said, a lot of people just like to play overseas. It's like studying abroad. If you're somebody who's on the fence and you're like, really what I need is like high quality of life, and I have to choose between making $1 million as a max player and then not being able to play anywhere else, or playing for Project B and not anywhere else and making, we'll call it $5 million. I think these players are going to go and play in Project B. I think they're going to play in Unrivaled. And meanwhile, something that the WNBA has not going for them is how big these stars are getting, Sarah. Like, you talk about losing leverage. Caitlin was step one. That was the first domino. Paige and Angel, third and second domino. And now we're seeing two Avengers coming together in the peak of their powers of Candy and DoorDash. And I don't know if you're a Reese's fan, but I am.
I am, for
and
sure.
Then you add in Oreo?
By the way, you're taking iconic candy and iconic candy. And
Is Oreo candy?
Well, it's a cookie.
Yep, cookie.
Okay, iconic cookie. By the way, Oreo.
Iconic snack food.
Fun fact, did you know that Oreo was invented before the chocolate chip cookie?
No, I didn't know that. Retirement should not be overcomplicated. You should feel like the advice that you're getting fits your life, not someone else's agenda. That is straight talk and a solid strategy, and that's what you get from Fuchs Financial, our guy. Watch Ben's show, How to Retire, on his YouTube page, which we link in the show notes. Thank you to Ben. Seriously, thank you to Ben for believing in what we're doing over here. Our first sponsor, our most important sponsor to date, and we're always going to keep it solid. So go over there and check Ben out.
Yeah. So anyway, you've got the original cookie and the original peanut butter cup meshing together. You've got Angel and Caitlin. I mean, you've got Angel and you've got Paige, and they're linking up. And it was sort of the crossover that birthed a million ideas online. I think the biggest one was, are we ever going to see them play together?
I think calling Paige and Oreo is hilarious too, because like,
hilarious.
Normally, like they would call Paige like an inside out Oreo.
Right.
And like her being the Oreo is just like, she's part of the culture. It's basically like Paige is part of the culture.
Did you see the video that we posted of Angel being like, can you tell us what's on top?
All right. The Hawks. Cheers.
The Hawks.
Cheers.
Or the Celtics.
It's busting. I already ate one. It's so good.
The cookie crumbs in the middle.
Get the details.
Yeah.
The white chocolate.
The white, the white on the top.
That's a real fact.
And Paige won't say it because it's white chocolate on top. And Paige goes, there's white stuff there. And Angel just loses her shit. It's their dynamic is fun. I like it.
I love Angel and Paige together. There's a lot of chitty chat. Paigel. There's a lot of chitty chat about them playing together for the Dallas Wings, and I can tell you this: it does rival Paisy. It really does, because there's nothing I'm worried about. What are we worried about with Paisy? A breakup, a nasty, gross breakup, something that splits them apart, and then they break off. Needs a trade request, drama, like what?
Yeah, and you've never seen breakups like lesbian breakups.
Oh my God. So that's the thing I worry about. But with Paigel, there's no problems. It's like Natisha Heidemann and Dejanay Carrington. They're going to always give each other little kisses on the forehead. They're never going to stop doing that. I kind of am like, I'm kind of getting sold on Paigel.
I kind of love Paigel.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of do. I love that dynamic. I think, first of all, let's forget from a basketball standpoint for a second. but the marketing dollars that you could make with Paige and Angel.
They said on the modeling that collaboration delivered between $500,000 and $1.2 million in earned media value in its first week. And then that's before you factor in all these other things that make it even more valuable. I mean, these are two of the most marketable. It's bigger than Caitlyn because they both have personalities. Caitlyn doesn't want to give you shit at all.
No.
Same way, she's not going to give us. We're not going to get Angelin. No, it's going to be like,
Angelin.
Matt Angelin. If we had Caitlyn and Angel.
Oh,
Angelin.
Caitlyn and Angel. I was like, who's the other name in there?
We're not getting any Angelin. We're not getting any Cangel. Cangel. No, I mean, I think they really, we don't need to discuss what their feelings are for one another, but they've always been pitted against one another.
Yeah.
Paige and Angel. Oh my God. I think that might be the biggest brand collab in the W.
It's honestly genius. Like
it is.
It really is. Like you could get such oh my God, what's the word? Who was Michael Jordan's like guy? Scottie Pippen.
Wow, this is rough.
I don't watch men. I don't know.
How do you not know Scottie Pippen?
I know who Scottie Pippen is. I just couldn't think of the name off the top of my head. I was thinking Rodman I know that anyway.
Okay. All of this, I think, though, does put more pressure on the WNBA. It feels like you guys want to see what you're missing? Listen, I bet you in Singapore a Paigel collaboration with Reese's. People in Singapore like Reese's. People in Singapore like Oreos. Guess what? We don't need to be in the WNBA in order to continue to thrive and grow and be our massive stars, like you could say with other players overseas. Like, for example, in the NWSL, if Trinity goes over to England, her star maybe falls. I don't think that there's any world where Paige Bueckers' star falls.
So one of the things that the WNBA absolutely cannot do is lose their stars. Lose Paige, lose Angel, lose Caitlyn. Those are the ones that, like, if you're circling names that you cannot let leave this league, those are them. And Sophie Cunningham confirmed to us that Caitlin Clark will not be going.
And that Sophie Cunningham's trying her best to get her to play on Project B.
Did.
Sophie, stop it.
It's like we need to get a water spray bottle for Sophie, just like a cat. Like you do with a cat.
Exactly.
Just like
it's like when Emma goes into the kitchen, my other dog, it's like, Emma, we will spray you. And she runs back and hides behind the chair in the living room.
Yeah, Sophie Cunningham.
Sophie, we will spray you.
Sophie's not running and hiding under a chair, though. I'll tell you that.
I can't believe that she tried to get Caitlin Clark. I like that Caitlin Clark told her straight up, no, I'm not going over there. What are you talking about?
So for anyone who hasn't seen this clip, Sophie Cunningham on her podcast.
What is it even called again?
I was just trying to think of what I was going to jokingly call it.
Yeah, we want the clip. Why not? Play it.
So it's a league. So the W season goes from May to October for people who don't know.
Wearing?
And this league will go in our off season. So like there's other things like Unrivaled,
right.
AU in Nashville. Then people can go overseas too, but this is a whole new one.
Wait, Adrian, stop. I just have a really quick question. What is she wearing?
I honestly think
she's not wearing pants. She's wearing a completely like.
Have you seen those black pantyhose? She looks like she put the black pantyhose over her whole body. And listen, I cannot lie. I'm turned on. Like, I cannot lie.
No, listen. I think
her arms are doing the work.
They are. And listen, I look at Sophie Cunningham and my first thought is always, I can change her. Even though I know I can't. But I'm just saying, what is this outfit? What is going on here? Anyway.
Also, I like how she was calling Project B. So it's a league. It's a league.
So it's a league.
Go ahead.
It's not propaganda, if that's what we're asking.
And this one offers a lot of money. And that's why people are like moving towards this.
Pause. What?
His face.
Okay.
A lot
of money. What does that mean?
It's
Okay.
8 figures to me.
Is Sophie Cunningham getting paid $10 million to play? Because that is a lot of money. If it's $1 million, I don't think she's saying it's a lot.
No.
I think it's over
Sophie
$3 million for Sophie Cunningham.
Sophie Cunningham makes enough money right now that you have to look at what she would consider a lot of money, not what we
Exactly.
consider a lot of money. So if she's saying it's a lot, I mean, I'm thinking
that's a lot of a lot.
I think it's easy 8 figures, and I wouldn't be surprised if that number didn't begin with something other than a 1.
Yep. Go ahead.
And this is also different than Unrivaled.
Completely different.
So how many like floating leagues are there? 3?
I would
2?
say that
Floating
like a lot of the American players are doing, or I would say the majority is 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think
Pause.
it's going to be like
Ricochet shot at the AU. She's like, people like only the burnouts and people who can't even get to the WNBA. They're in Athletes Unlimited. So it's really
It's really just 2. Okay, let's.
a lot of people switching over.
That's cool.
So like,
But-
here's my thing. So all these leagues are great, but at the end of the day, like if you don't have the W, you don't have the platform.
Right.
So you don't have the eyes, you don't have the recognition.
That's right, Caitlin Clark.
No, yeah.
You have the W.
Yeah. I tried to get her to like play in this one. She's like, no.
I saw Kelsey Mitchell's playing.
Yeah, which I'm super.
Pause.
Right.
I kind of like this guy co-host because he's such a dumbass that he doesn't even know
He asks really stupid questions. Yeah.
that are actually so stupid that they're great.
Yeah, because you're like, I kind of want to know what Sophie has to say to this.
He led her right in to saying the Caitlyn thing. She just offered it up herself.
Yeah, you hear that, Caitlin Clark? Caitlin won't join.
super excited about.
Yeah.
I actually tried to get her to play, and she was like, "No."
What do you think? What do you think Sophie Cunningham's pitch to Caitlin Clark was? Come,
Girl,
with me to
Kelsey and I
Singapore. It'll
are-
be so much fun.
Kelsey and I are already playing in it, so it's like basically the same as the Fever. If you come, like everybody will come. It'll be so lit.
It'll be
Can you
so much
imagine
fun.
the Project B jerseys with the Stranger Things font? Oh my god, it'll be so fucking hot.
Super
Go ahead.
excited to play with Kels. Or I don't know if I'll play with her, but we'll be in the same league. But so you go to like 7 different markets around the world. You're only there for a certain amount of time, and then you have the rest of the time off. So I could like stay in that market and travel for free pretty
Do
much.
you know the markets?
I do, but I don't know the exact city. So I know there's like 2 in Asia, 2 in Europe, I think 2 in the North and South Americas, and 1 elsewhere.
Dude, that fucking rocks.
I'm excited because I actually
Pause. I'm gonna say this. Sophie's kind of
Selling it.
eating right now. Yes, she's kind of eating right now.
Listen, let's get through this, and then I
just
have a
kinda
question
traveling
for
the
you.
world.
Okay.
I was in France for 7 months. I went to Australia at the beginning of my career. Loved it. You just get cultured. It's fun, and I've missed it. But I also don't want to play year round. Like my body can't handle it. I have other things I want to do that I'm interested in, and so this just gives me the perfect.
Stop.
That means
She's
she's
not
not
going to play
coming
in
back
the
to the
WNBA.
WNBA.
She's not playing in the WNBA then.
That's what she's just. That is what she's saying.
Perfect opportunity to go play,
I'm not playing in the
Or-
WNBA.
Go ahead.
get cultured,
Go ahead.
like see the world, but also like be able to come home and still experience like what I want to
So
experience.
you think it's a tasteful amount of basketball that like wouldn't burn you out, but it's offering you multiple things outside of like just playing
Yeah.
basketball.
So and they have like they're gonna have the best PTs. They're just super organized.
Do you know where like who's backing it? Who's like what-
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but I'll just say like 4 huge tech companies that are like well known and they have a shit ton of money. So a lot of people think this is like Saudi money, and it's not at all. Has
it's not
nothing to do.
live golf or
no.
whatever.
no. So
Pause. Oh
Pause.
my God. Who's backing it? That's incredible. Dumbass
way,
comes
this
with
is-
the smart journalistic question.
This to me, by the way, now that when that question got asked, that tells me immediately Sophie
It's
is like
planned.
the official spokesperson
Yes.
for this. That is what they're doing. That they're trotting Sophie out to just be like,
They're Joe Roganing Sophie Cunningham. Like if you think about how they used all the bro podcasts to get Donald Trump elected, that's what they're doing with
That's what
Sophie
they're doing.
Cunningham.
that's what they're doing. She's going to be on Fud Around and Find Out talking about it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
She is. She's selling it. That's what
I'm
she's
excited, and I think the people that are running it
Is this
are
the
just
end?
good people. I think it's a good experience.
Did they
Oh.
recruit you, or did you reach out to them?
No, they recruited me, and I not even gonna lie, I actually kind of turned it down twice
Okay.
because I was like, I don't want to play overseas. I don't whatever. And then like the more details I got, and like the more I really thought about it, I'm like, dude, what a great time to like expand my brand globally. I get to play year round, which will help me stay in shape. That will help me because I'm about to
Pause. As they offered me more and more money, aka as
just
I
kept-
got more details about the deal.
hit like I'm hitting my prime. So prime in the WNBA
Oh,
is like anywhere from 28 to 34.
you better fucking ball out then.
Yeah,
this
but I'm a
year.
late bloomer too,
Right.
so I'm like I'll probably be, the 50-year-old still playing.
Yeah. Like in the church league,
Yeah.
step backs and shit.
Talking shit to little kids. Yeah.
I did have my uncle one time. I played in this church league, and
Okay. So what we learned. What did we learn, Trista?
I mean, I think Sophie's probably going to be one of the highest paid players in Project B because myself, not a fan of Project B. And I was like, that does sound
Kind of fun.
if I only have to play a tasteful amount of games and then the rest of the time I'm just kicking it and chilling, going from country to country, living off that non-Saudi backed money that's of course on the up and up and only tech money, but I can't even tell you who's investing because I don't think they'll let me tell you. I think it's kind of an attractive offer for players. It's a very attractive offer and sell.
This is exactly the live golf formula.
Yeah.
You only have to play 3 rounds. You can wear shorts. It's not going to be you don't have to travel as much. It's only 3 rounds. You don't have to get there till Friday, actually. And you can bring your whole family and you can wear shorts. Flash forward 5 years. Now it's to 72 holes. It's Wednesday through Sunday, just like everything else. They have to wear it's gone back to how it has to be because they weren't making money. This will do the same thing. How long is it going to be? Just 8 events.
It's a bubble. It's a bubble. Get your money, guys. If that's what you want to do, just know that in 3 years, this thing will be completely irrelevant. And they'll have the men's league at the same time happening right then. And you'll have to play probably in the little gym. You guys will be out at the same time as the men's game, but in the like middle school gym in, I don't know, wherever you're playing in Asia and South America. I don't know, man. There's a lot going on when it comes to the W. All the leagues that are not rival leagues, but kind of rival leagues that the WNBA thinks are rival leagues. A lot of stars getting bigger and bigger and bigger, putting pressure on the WNBA to make a decision and give them a good deal. And I honestly do believe that as strong as the WNBA is right now, they are truly on the precipice of crumbling if they don't get this right.
Well, and because it's not just a matter of could they crumble or not crumble, but it's could they crumble and there's this floating cruise ship that's sitting right outside where their building is crumbling going, hey, you guys can just come over here. It's really nice over here. We'll just take you wherever you want to go and we'll pay you as much as you want to be paid. Come over here. It's safe. It's fun.
Athletes Unlimited is the Demigorgon. And Unrivaled is the Mind Flayer. And Project B is Vecna. Project B is Vecna. Controlling it all, coming in.
No. The PIF is Vecna and Project B is just the upside down.
Yes. Sort of. Anyway, bad analogy. Also, simultaneously, which we do not have time to talk about, Trinity Rodman is in the middle of a labor dispute as well.
There's also that, yeah.
The Washington Spirit, Michelle Kang, who's got crazy money, has offered Trinity Rodman a deal of 4 years, $4 million. Yet the grand majority comes of that contract and the amount she's making comes in the back half of that deal. And I think it's a lot of them. Like, it's not like, I think it's like almost all of it in the back half. The NWSLPA has filed a grievance because Commissioner Berman has blocked the trade or the contract, saying that it is a cap circumvention. And
Except
it is
the
fucking
fact that
drama, Sarah.
Yeah, but they also admit to the fact that it's also not illegal. The
No,
contract
no,
they
it is.
offered her
The commissioner believes that this is going to
believes
get
it
thrown
is.
out in court. We will see how
We'll
it goes
see.
to court. But she was the commissioner, Sarah, in the NHL when the NHL tried to pull something. She was, the deputy chief counsel.
Right.
When this happened in the NHL and it got thrown out of court. And not only did it get thrown out of court, the New Jersey Devils got fined $3 million for trying these shenanigans. So I'm very curious to see what ends up happening. I have thoughts. We don't have time to get into them.
No.
But I actually somehow agree with the man on this one. I think Michelle Kang's out of her goddamn mind.
I disagree. Again, we won't get into it. But I think all that goes to say is this entire episode is billionaires fighting over how women's sports, how much money they make, which I think can officially cancel out people saying that women's sports is not a valuable asset, because billionaires would not be fighting this hard
That's a good point.
over it if it wasn't.
Likewise. Great show, Sarah. 1, 2, 3.
Let her shoot.